Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the academic procession and the Chancellor.
I declare that the 605th convocation of McMaster University for the conferring of degrees is now in session.
Please be seated. Good afternoon. I am Dr. Ishwar Puri, Dean of Engineering. It is my privilege and pleasure on behalf of McMaster University to welcome all of you, graduates and guests, to this convocation ceremony. I would like to start by recognizing and acknowledging that we meet today on the traditional territories of the Mississauga and the Haudenosaunee nations and within the lands protected by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Agreement. I would also like to take this opportunity to acknowledge some of the notable leaders joining me on stage today. Our Chancellor, Dr. Suzanne Labarge, President and Vice Chancellor, Dr. Patrick Dean, Provost and Vice President Academic and today's Master of Ceremonies, Dr. David Farrar, Doctor of Science Honoris Causa, Dr. Vagi Ishak, Vice President, University Advancement, Ms. Mary Williams, Vice Provost, International Affairs, Dr. Peter Masher, Associate Vice President, Global Health, Dr. Andrea Baumann, Associate Deans, Directors, Chairs, faculty members, and honored guests. Before we start the formal program, may I first ask everyone in the hall to switch off any electronic devices that may ring or beep during the ceremony. It is my great pleasure to be with all of you today, our graduates, their families, and supporters. I'd like to extend a special welcome to McMaster Engineering alumna, Dr. Donna Strickland, who is a recent Nobel laureate. We're all looking forward to hearing your inspiring words. Each one of you graduating today should be immensely proud of what you have accomplished during your time with us. As all of you are aware, completing an engineering degree takes determination, drive, and diligence. What's more, many of you have gotten involved in activities beyond the classroom, in clubs and teams, hackathons, design challenges, undergraduate research, co-op placements, or a host of other experiential learning opportunities, which our faculty emphasizes. One of my great pleasures as Dean of Engineering is to watch the growth and successes of our students, of all of you. Today marks the culmination and celebration of that success. And it has been a successful year for McMaster Engineering. We are furthering the faculty's research mission and students' professional development skills by offering the largest undergraduate research program in Canada. Last year, more than 270 worked in a lab under the mentorship of our faculty members, contributing to our overall research funding within the faculty of $45 million. McMaster Engineering also proudly boasts the highest student retention rate of any engineering school in Canada, with 95% of our students successfully completing their first year. This demonstrates how we are attracting the brightest students and providing them with the faculty and staff support that they need to shine once they get here. And finally, we launched our first digital credentials this year. In April, we offered the university's first digital certificate using blockchain technology to recognize co-curricular activities, and we intend to offer micro-credentials in the future. But there's exciting news. All of you will be receiving a digital blockchain-enabled degree next week. You'll be able to carry your degree in your pocket with a swipe of an app on your smartphone. We look forward to seeing where your path leads. Please remember your Fireball family as you venture out to change the world. Congratulations again, and enjoy this special day with your family and friends. I would now like to call upon our Chancellor, Dr. Suzanne Labarge, to deliver her welcoming remarks.
Welcome, honored guests, staff, faculty, families, friends, and most importantly, graduands. This is an exciting day for all of you who are graduating today, as well as for all those people who have supported you and stood behind you, and in many cases have had a key role in you being here today. You have achieved a great deal to get here, and you should all be very proud of your success and looking forward to what the future might bring. Congratulations, and enjoy the ceremony.
My name is David Ferrara. I'm the Provost and Vice President Academic of the University, and I have the great pleasure of acting as your Master of Ceremony this afternoon. I would like to welcome Dr. Patrick Dean, President and Vice Chancellor, to the podium. Dr. Dean will be presenting our honorary degree recipient.
Madam Chancellor, by the authority of the Senate of McMaster University, I have the honor to present Donna Strickland. Donna Strickland received her Bachelor of Engineering degree from McMaster University in 1981, and then graduated from the University of Rochester in 1989 with a PhD in optics. Working with her PhD supervisor, Dr. Gérard Mourou, Dr. Strickland co-invented chirped pulse amplification, or CPA, which made it possible to amplify ultra-short laser pulses to unprecedented levels. CPA was a significant step forward scientifically, and it also proved valuable in practical applications, ranging from corrective eye surgery to the machining of small glass parts used in wireless phones. From 1988 to 1991, Dr. Strickland was a research associate at the National Research Council of Canada before joining the laser division of Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory as a physicist. In 1992, she became a member of the technical staff of Princeton's Advanced Technology Center for Photonics and Optoelectronic Materials. Dr. Strickland then returned to Canada as an assistant professor in the Department of Physics and Astronomy at the University of Waterloo. Now a full professor, she leads the ultrafast laser group in developing high-intensity laser systems for nonlinear optics investigations. Dr. Strickland has worked in several capacities with the Optical Society of America, the OSA, including serving as the organization's president and a longtime member of the OSA Board of Directors. From 2008 to 2011, she was the OSA-appointed representative to the International Commission for Optics, the ICO. Dr. Strickland also served on the OSA's nominating committee and was its chair for 2 years. She will be chair of the OSA's Presidential Advisory Committee until 2020. Dr. Strickland has been part of the editorial board of OPN and served as a topical editor for Optics Letters for 6 years. She chaired the Archie McMahon and R.W. Wood Prize committees, served as FIO General Chair in 2012, and was part of the program committee for the International Conference on Ultrafast Phenomena in 2002. A fellow of the Optical Society of America, Dr. Strickland has been an Alfred P. Sloan Research Fellow and received the Premier's Research Excellence Award and the Cottrell Scholars Award from Research Corporation. This past October, Dr. Strickland shared in the 2018 Nobel Prize in Physics for groundbreaking inventions in the field of laser physics. In claiming the world's best-known scientific honor, she became the first woman in 55 years and just the third woman overall to earn the Nobel Prize in Physics. Madam Chancellor, there you go, happened again. Madam Chancellor, it is a privilege to introduce a member of the McMaster alumni family, a groundbreaking physicist, and now one of Canada's most recognized scientists. I ask that you confer upon Dr. Donna Strickland the degree Doctor of Science, honoris causa.
Donna Strickland, by the authority of the McMaster University Senate, I have the great pleasure to confer upon you the degree Doctor of Science honoris causa in McMaster University with all the rights and privileges pertaining to that degree. Congratulations. You have to sign first, if you don't mind, yes. I would now like to invite Dr. Strickland to deliver the convocation address.
Madam Chancellor, President Dean, honored guests, graduates, family, and friends. It is great being back celebrating with McMaster. Thank you so much for bestowing this honor on me. I was certainly not expecting anything like this when I was sitting at my own undergraduate convocation way back in 1981. So thank you very much. This year, I seem to be walking down memory lane, and I have been back to almost every place I have studied or worked, including my elementary school. Most have said this is where she got her start. Now, probably only the elementary school can really say that, but of course, at each step of the road, it is a new beginning. Numerous times, I have been asked the question about where I got my love of lasers. Although my mother claims it is because my father showed us a big laser at the then new Ontario Science Centre saying lasers are the way of the future, I don't actually remember that. What I do remember is looking through the various university calendars, wondering where to go after high school, and finding the engineering physics program at McMaster. I thought that was the perfect program for me, so I wouldn't have to choose between engineering and physics. Then I read that part of the program was about lasers. I thought, how cool does that sound? And somehow I just knew that that was the program for me. So I would say I started down my career path in laser science here at McMaster University in the engineering physics program. I absolutely loved the program. Another question I have been asked many times since October: how did you find that red dress for the Nobel ceremony? I'm going to guess this is the only time dress shopping has come up in an engineering convocation address. My answer is that I couldn't have done it without my girlfriends from Moulton Hall. Shortly after the announcement, my first-year roommate from Moulton Hall, Hannah, emailed me and two of our close friends from down the hall, Kath and Marg, saying, "We need a say yes to the dress day." And they arranged the day of shopping to find that dress. A geek like me knows very little about fashion or how to find a ball gown, but my roommate knows. Hannah and I were nothing alike, but we became terrific friends. One of the great things about going away to university is that you get pulled out of your comfort zone and find out there is so much more in the world than what you have yet experienced. Of course, university is all about learning, but the friends you make while you're busy studying are every bit as important. And I really touched to say that a few of my buddies from the 1981 graduating class in engineering physics are sitting right there listening to this today. I have been so lucky in life. I left McMaster with a great education and fabulous friends. I hope the same is true for all of you graduating today. And so now that you have mastered the challenge of getting a degree from McMaster University, what is next for you? What opportunity have you found, and what challenge have you set for yourself? After McMaster, I was off to the University of Rochester for my PhD in optics. I knew I wanted a PhD since I was in elementary school because I just knew I belonged in school, and getting a PhD was the ultimate in education. I had no plans for anything past that. Partway through grad school, I realized I had to start thinking about what would come next. I was in my third year of grad school when I learned of a dream job working with Canada's leading ultrafast laser scientist, Paul Corkum, at the National Research Council in Ottawa. I was very lucky. As you know, my PhD ended up being pretty successful, and it helped me land that dream job. It was a 3-year postdoctoral position. By the end of grad school, I had started dating one of the guys in the same research group. He's also here today. But I told him that I would never marry an American because I was moving home to Canada and nothing was going to stop me. Doug, that guy, who I did end up marrying, likes to keep reminding me of all the things I said I would never do, but ended up doing. When I moved to Ottawa, Doug had gotten the ideal job for an ultrafast laser person, a permanent job at Bell Labs in New Jersey. We decided to get married when I finished my postdoc. Since he had the permanent job, I started looking for a job in New Jersey. How hard could it be? After all, I had wanted the one and only job with Canada's leading ultrafast person, and I had gotten it. Surely I could find some laser job in all of New Jersey. Not so much. A colleague from Lawrence Livermore National Lab in California told me that if I couldn't find a job in New Jersey, he had a job for me at Livermore. I said I would never take a job in California and at a US national lab where Canadians can't get the necessary security clearances to enter most of the buildings, including the laser building at Livermore. With just 3 months left to find a job, I had the opportunity to give an invited talk at the main laser conference. and I decided that I would have to give the talk of my life so someone in that room would want to hire me. I did give such a good talk that someone did follow me out and talk to me about a job. And wouldn't you know, the one person in that room who wanted to hire me was from Livermore. There went another never. After our honeymoon, my new husband returned to New Jersey, and I moved myself to California. Many couples try living together before marriage. Doug and I tried marriage before living together. The hardest thing about being highly educated is that you have to be flexible and be open to compromises. It is so hard to find an ideal job where you ideally want to live. You have to decide what is most important to you at that time. My husband and I kept looking for jobs so we could be together, and we were only apart for 1 year after we were married. I think I have been incredibly lucky. You are all lucky too, being very intelligent and highly educated. It's up to you what you do with that luck. You have to know inside you what you really want and then go for it. Most importantly, never say never. Make the most of every opportunity that comes your way. You never know where life is taking you, so you simply have to try and enjoy the ride. Congratulations and the best of luck.
Thank you very much, Dr. Strickland, for those comments. I have to admit, and I feel very embarrassed to say this, one doesn't necessarily expect the kind of humor that we got today from a physics engineer. And I mean, that's my arts background. I'm sorry about that, and I apologize profusely because that was an outstanding talk, and I think gave you a beautiful message in a way that nobody else could have delivered. I also want to say that one of the privileges of being chancellor is that you get to grant these honorary degrees. And the quality of the people we have coming across our stage is superb, because the university tries to choose people that you can relate to, right? That you can admire, and that have, through what they've done, contributed either to their profession or to their community. And I have to say, it's rare that we can find a degree recipient from McMaster, although we have a large number of them, thank heavens. But Donna Strickland is a perfect example of what can be accomplished when you put your mind to it. She is the best example of what we turn out. She is a superb example of what we turn out. And I can only thank her so much for coming back to us and appreciate everything she has done for us, for Canada, and for her profession. Thank you.
President Dean will now come forward to present the graduands to our Chancellor for admission to their degrees.
Would the graduands please stand? Madam Chancellor, on behalf of McMaster University Senate, I present to you these candidates and those in absentia in order that you may confer the appropriate degrees upon them. And I bear witness that they are worthy and suitable.
Graduands, by my authority and that of the McMaster University Senate, I have the great pleasure to admit those before me today and those in absentia to their individual degrees at McMaster University with all of the rights and privileges pertaining to those degrees. My sincere congratulations to you all. Please be seated.
Graduates, I now ask each of you to join me on stage so that the Chancellor and I may welcome you to the McMaster community of scholars.
Ladies and gentlemen, so that each graduate's name may be heard, it would be appreciated if during the presentation of the graduands, you would hold your collective applause to the end of each degree category. Thank you. Madam Chancellor, may I present to you the following graduates of the degree Doctor of Philosophy. Arif ul Alam. Xian Hu. Kavya Prabha Divakarla. Leah Dawn Gomba. Alan Donelis Calagaro. Mohammed Abdel Maqsood Mohammed Rabi. Hoda Redazeh Kaviani. Lok Shu Hui. Chan Li Ma. James Strack. Yang Lu Do. Mustafa Yakut Mohammed. Paul Joanno. Saha Abu Ghanam Kokali. Madam Chancellor, may I present to you the following graduates of the degree Master of Science. Paolo Sudrano. Christian Frinsu. Harika Gola. Shi Wang. Madam Chancellor, may I present to you the following graduates of the degree Master of Applied Science. Mehdi Alimadani. Warren Stephen Pawlikowski. Melik Yaili. Sanchu Zhang. Andrei Gusiev. Mariam Alizadeh. Rohan Kumar Barua. Baoshin Deng. Ahmed Dogri. Melissa Sehu Hay. Shi Ju Shi. Yosef Shoka Ohi. Wan Ting Wang. Yi Fu Xue. Saeed Asim Shah. Sasha M. Soren. Madam Chancellor, may I present to you the following graduates of the degree Master of Engineering. Hong Bin Jia. Simon Sun. Sheng Liu. Sean Somo Givari. Yuling Liu. Yuji Zhao. Pavanjot Singh Gill. Lai Wei. Depasish Das.
Madam Chancellor, may I present to you the following graduates of the degree Bachelor of Engineering and Management. Ahmed Moyad Abu Alia. Muhammad Hashir Amjad. Alexander L. Barros. Cameron Jonathan Bignell. Carmen Daniela Bracho. Eva Daniela Bracho. Arfa Amer Butt. Adam Broderick Charlton. Cody Edward Joseph Cooper. John Paul Dacron. Liam Davis Burns. Terin Singh Dada. Riley Walker Dunn. Matthew Durant. Balwant Singh Farmaha. Matthew Nicholas Geronimo. Kevin John Hardy Cooper. Calvin Ho. Richard Huang. Fiona Hu. Tarun Jain. Jacoby William Elias Jokima. Harminder Singh Kang. Jashanpreet Singh Kang. Hamza Rafi Khan. Ryan Raid Kovacevic. Matthew Adam Leyland. Kelvin Kakwak Lin. Adnan Shabir Lokhandawala. Naresh Kumar Mahesh Kumar. Amir Mansoor. Ali Wasim Makbul. Joshua D. McCann. Bunny Mehra. Nitesh Mistry. Kevin Najdino. Osaram Vince Abraham Omaro Gobe. Paul Julian Pahuli. Daniel Alexander Parent. Thomas Andrew Perry, Dylan Porco, Dylan Post, Marcus Peter Raganelli, Michael Seffen, Martin Scott, Brody Michael Slatt, John Sober, Eric Spurrell, Evan Stephen Thomas, Eric Tran, William Tran, Lindsay Vasilek, Bowen Wei, Alexander Wong, Fateme Dorsa Yazdan Pana, Manford Young, Zeming Zhao, Madam Chancellor, may I present you the following graduates of the degree Bachelor of Engineering and Society. Jessa May Jimenez Alcantara, Francesca Maria Altobelli, Aaron Theodore Bruinsma, Glenda Chu, Colin Angus James Coltejohn, Mitchell Sherman Eccles, Brendan Rollin Fallon, Jeffrey Can, Christopher Morita Lee, Joel Christian Stratman, Heather Kathleen Temple, Jason Thornton, Erin Elizabeth Very, Alice Kshu, Madam Chancellor, may I present to you the following graduates of the degree Bachelor of Engineering. Mark Allen Abanto, Syed Shuja Abbas, Ahmed Hussam Abdul Hamid, David Mariusz Adamczyk, Adam Kurosh Aguili, Daniel Agostino, Ahmed Al-Fajem, Alicia Marie Alfieri, Talha Ali, Abid Ali Bhai, Darsikan Anandaraja, Mikhail Andrenkov, Damian Angeloni, Arvin John Angie, Evan Ansel, Dylan Applebaum, Pavle Erezina, Yusuf Ayman Assad, Zachary Assis, Navodi S. Atapathu, Rahul Bablani, Michael Daniel Bagnowski, Benjamin Martin Alexander Balker, Birjot Singh Bala, Anusan Balachandran, Nishant Balamohan, Angus Jefferson Barber, Ankur Bergotra, Gary Roy Barreto, Hussein Bazoon, Salma Bilal, Sachin Bhatt, Michael Bitsos, Christopher Kevin Borowski, Kyle Brenzel, Tyler Robert Brown, Kathleen S. Brownlee, Katie Larissa Butler, Liam Daniel James Casola, Ethan Chan, Marcus Kwong Ngai Chen, Darren Ted Juan Chang, Justin Chow, Weijian Chen, Qiwen Chen, Jihao Chen, Chiai Chen, Pak Ho Vincent Chung, Shei-Chi Chung, Thomas Elliott Chiang, Jeremy Sung Hong Chick, Andrew Chipka, Robert Matthew Chorzipa, Kevin Chung, Sukwan Chung, Jordan Robert Stevens Clemens, Nathan Coit, Taz Montana Max Colangelo, Linhui Dai, Honey David, Sehaz Dayal, Derek Lewis Dimek, Nizar Dmitry, Michael Dimitrov, Liam Glenn Robert Dow, Jacob Philip Dudalski, Liam Adam Duncan, Rebecca Elliott, Mustafa Saeed El-Savi, Venkatasai Krishnaratna Bharga Imani, James William Emmons, Matthew Gary Engel, Justin Corey Facca, Andrew Fan, Hanze Fan, Susan Fayez, Sanjay Goyathan Fernando. Joshua Aaron Fitzpatrick. Kelly Fullerton. Spencer Fullerton. Walker G. Sushanta Kumar Ghosh. Yasasvi Gopalakrishnan. Robin Goyal. Justine Alborg Goyena. Anki Gu. Kira Marie Gay. Vishesh Gulati. Muhammad Hanan. Pierre Haroon. Ryan Walter Hostorf. Rita Hermes. David Douglas Hobson. Timothy Holford. Christine Angela Horner. Moshiur Havaldar. Mikolai Hritsko. Peiki Hu. Xixing Hu. Yangshen Hu. Gary Huang. Hangxi Huang. Andre Hurtado Carrion. Christopher Hewin. Lucia Adele Lanantuono. Samuel Jackson. Arib Javed. Ainkaran Jigatheswaran. Yuchan Jian. Yiki Jiang. Junaid Jiwani. Anju Mariam John. Cliff Johnson. Trevor Johnson. Jake Joseph. Sumit Singh Kalon. Eric Kamada. Meena Soliman Asad Kamel. Wiche Kao. Tyler Adam Kashak. Livia Kell. Baba Prasant Keshavan. Taha Khan. Zohaib Khan. Abdullah Khawar. Akshay Cougar. Cameron Gregory Killens. Mohammed Shehzad Kohiali. Nikolai Kozel. Bibson Krishnadasan. Pauline Stephanie Kurek. Tommy Kwan. Leanne Ledusser.
Matthew Terry Alexander Lane. Peter Alexander LaRue. Harrison Lau. Hansol Lee. Justin Lee. Kunwoo Lee. Michael Robert Lee. Sojin Lee. Jinan Lei. James Morris Lemoyne. Rachel Lim. Haozi Lui. Jianpeng Liu. Liangji Liu. Yunfei Liu. Yuting Liu. Zhenyu Liu. Zhaoyu Liu. Abhilash Longeshwaran. Haley Rachelia Emily Longo. William David Luders. Ji Liu. Simon Victor Lee. Kevin Litwin. Simon Ma. Malcolm Grant McEachran. Fahd Mahmood. Arib Malik. Joseph A. Manolo. Robert Dominic Mascatelli. Andrew Anthony McBride. Spencer McDermott. Stephen Michael McKeel. Alexander Michael McMillan. Hannah Frances McPhee. David Anthony McShannon. Sajal Mehta. Carlo Gabriel Melgar. Alexander Zhidla Mersic. Joshua Peter Mitchell. Iliad Muzavi. Varun Nagasai Maturi. Yao Mu. Thomas Cooper Mullen. Michael Lockton Mung. Medea Munim. Monica Nasrallah. Shadi Sharif Nassim. Jason Nguyen. Jay Nguyen. Jerry Noiser. Mofoluseo Ometeo Odusanya. Mustafa Okasha. Logan David Aros. Mitchell Lawrence Overbeek. Jedrick Tanola Publico. Zachary Plantas. Rushiraj Manoj Pancholi. Krishnagan Jacob Parathan. Philip Rene Pastolero. Adit Patel. Jitan Patel. Maharshi Patel. Sparsh Patel. Utpal Patel. Viraj Patel. Joseph Stefan Perry. Benjamin Petkovsek. Prabir Singh Puni. Gabriel John Morris Potter. Ravi Premachandran. Matthew Kevin James Pryor Coxhead. Rennie Pooh. Mitchell William Pertson. Jeffrey Chi. Ying Chian Ching. Mohammed Sharozi Rao. Parik Ravi. Anand Ravichandran. James Daniel Reeve. Hatim Raymond. Namir Raymond. Elise Autumn Rear. Brandon Nicholas Roberts. Andrew Murray Rodenberg. Mateo Rodriguez. Carter Rowland. Brandon Rufino. Nabil Sakran. Gino Saleo. Jose Javier Salermo Montes de Oca. Ryan Scott. Hayden Alexander Sager. Kunal Shah. Sharda Shah. Rozhan Shahid. Adwiti Sharma. Palden Gonpo Shawutsang. Daniel Shigobind. Yusuf Hosni Shetui. Paul Yoshi Shea Shibata. Siddhant Shinde. Mohammed Kashif Siddiqui. Vincent Iskander Yakin Sui. Emma Simons. Teresa Sui. Nilani Skantharajara. Jian Song, Sujan Srisivalapanelan, Sullivan Roger Stobo, Mingjui Su, Mark Zander Suan, Saushaw Sun, Thomas Joseph Sweeney, Cameron Swingoa, Zara Syed, Ricardo Chaniago Tan, Yanheng Tan, Mohammed Janzeb Tarin, Cameron James Taylor, Caleb Braden Tabokal, Aditya Thakkar, Rehan Stanislaus Thivihathasan, Cole Thompson, Waichak Eugene Tong, Baltej Singh Tour, Aisha Ramin Tusif, Jessica Track, Tien Trandin, Ayad Turjman, Riley Elizabeth Jugras, Mohammed Hassan Ullah, Emily Robin Vernon, Stefano Ennio Vitucci, Elizabeth von Zuben, Junji Wang, Minchuan Wang, Wai Chao Wang, Iris Wang, Alex Wang, Yongbin Wang, Mackenzie Weens, Paul Wilcock, Daniel Ryan Wolfe, Jintao Wu, Nancy Jayanan Wu, Yifan Wu, Yifu Wu, Yufei Jiang, Lucy Jing, Jack Yang, Zhenjiang Yang, Terence Yip, Susan Yuan, Matt Zaborski, Akram Zeki, Chuching Zheng, Chenzong Zhang, George Chihang Zhang, Zhaiju Zhang, Richard Zhang, Shen Zhang, Tian Zhang, Ji Zhang. Kevin Ziemba. Yuting Zhu.
Madam Chancellor, may I present to you the following graduates of the degree Bachelor of Applied Science. Emily Louise Ashworth. Corey Shaquille Bain. Jonathan Patrick Boulanger. Carola Hugh Brendan. Natasha DeCoste. Patrick Diamond Duncan. Vladislav Falach. Ome Salma Gadriwala. Benjamin Giller. Pasindu Isivara Gunasekara. Justin Peter Hole. Mingfei Jiang. Muhyiddin Ayodele Jimo. Alicia Jovalanus. Matthew Kachmarek. Madiha Siddiqa Khan. Vyom Kishore. Jijan Kong. Chowie Troy Kwang. Stephen Francis Lamotte. Jinsung Lee. Justin Das Likari. Kevin Liu. Minghan Liu. Xiu Luo. Henry Madej. Pedro George Magnan Cavalcante de Oliveira. Nathan Luxon Mangoel. Sean Michael Johnson McKay. James Owen Militante. Benjamin David Miller. Rakesh Prafulbhai Mistry. Levin Noronha. Tasneem Bari Noshin. Adrian Paluk. Tianki Chi. Evan Harold Riom. Neil Edgar Vivian Robichaud. Brandon Rowland. Cesar Antonio Santana Penner. Juan Carlos Santana Penner. Piranaven Salvatore Baran. Aska Shah. Ramsha Siddiqui. Nolan Slade. Jack Thomas Snopek. Daniel Stewart. Tristan Ethan Tapson. Roberto Temelkovsky. Victor Timpau. Rebecca Tran. Trong Philip Tran. Nicholas Ruggiero Tristani. Dragan Danny Visakrona. Theodore Voinia. Mingyang Wang. James Yu.
Let's give one more round of applause to all our new graduates. I would now like to introduce Hannah McPhee, a graduate of the degree Bachelor of Engineering in Engineering Physics, who will be delivering the valedictory address.
Hi, good afternoon, and welcome, Dr. Labarge, Dr. Dean, Dr. Farrar, all guests, faculty, family, friends, and my fellow graduates. It's an honor to deliver this year's valedictory address, and an honor to be graduating with such an exceptional group of students. And to my fellow students, congratulations. We did it. We made it through the past 4 to 7 years of school and work mostly successfully. And that is a huge accomplishment. We've gone from failing our first major labs because we can't figure out what an if statement is, to being full-fledged computer science and engineering graduates, even if we still need to Google the syntax every single time we code. We survived the sleepless nights that come hand in hand with working on our capstone projects, and we made it out the other side better engineers and hopefully better friends because of it. And we've done it all together. So take some time today to thank the friends that inspired you to work harder, who are always doing just a little bit better than you, who encourage you to get involved in extracurriculars that you definitely didn't have the time for, and who always took the time to help you when you needed it. But also, let's thank the friends that made you work less. The friends that convinced you to MSAF that assignment so you could go to a concert, and whose "do you really need to go to lecture?" questions were the most convincing. Those are the friends that made our time at McMaster about more than school. And all these friends helped make our community. And our community here, one where we don't compete with one another, but we raise one another up, it is what has made this place so special to me for the past 5 years. Everyone here has contributed to making this school and this faculty our home. The people I have met through my time here are some of the most giving I've ever encountered. They're giving of their time, volunteering in the community, spending countless hours on clubs and teams, and bringing life to MacEng. MacEng students are giving of their empathy, their kindness, their knowledge, but definitely never of their MATLAB code. And we are not alone. We have been supported through our time here and made this space a positive one, alongside our professors, administrative assistants, academic advisors, career counselors, and long-suffering teaching assistants. From the staff who call us honey when we buy our multiple coffees, to the cleaners who ask us how we're doing instead of kicking us out when they find us working in closed buildings at 3 in the morning. We have been supported through our time here by a village. To all those people, and especially to my peers, thank you. We have made McMaster our home, and as we leave here to embark on our new journeys, let's keep building homes wherever we go. We are a new generation of engineers and computer scientists, and we have a responsibility to create more communities and workplaces that are inclusive and positive for everyone in them. I urge you all to take the time to reflect on how you can support the women, members of racialized communities, LGBTQ folks, First Nations, Métis and Inuit people, people with disabilities, and all communities who are seeking equity in STEM. Let's recognize discrimination and injustice and advocate for each other, instead of letting that work fall on the shoulders of those who might not have the same opportunities that you do. We're all here because we like solving interesting problems, and with diverse voices at the table, we can find better solutions. And our responsibility to each other doesn't stop at our workplaces. As engineers, we've signed up to serve the world. And as the world's next designers, builders, policymakers, artists, and business people, I believe that we have the power to make positive change. We can design products, processes, and policies that are sustainable. We can demand better of companies that cause harm to the environment or don't treat their workers with dignity. Wherever we end up, whether it's engineering work or not, let's always ask important questions. Is our work respectful of the environment? Are we listening to the communities that we impact? Are we elevating marginalized voices? Will there be free coffee at office meetings? It's important. We're about to have a seat at the table and a louder voice than we've ever had before. So let's speak up. Now, if you're at all like me, you're probably feeling a little overwhelmed at the prospect of the future. You might be hoping that I'll stop talking about all the work we're going to do because you don't have a job lined up. And by the way, for any employers in the audience, I am on LinkedIn, and it's Hannah with an H at the end. But despite my own fears, I honestly do believe that I'm in a room with a group of people that can do great things. One of my professors once told our class that we're smart enough, that successful people, impactful people, are not geniuses. They're hardworking, with positive attitudes, committed to lifelong learning, and they're all right intellectually. All of us have made it this far. We are smart enough. With a little elbow grease and a little passion, we can do anything. But for now, let's enjoy the summer. Congratulations and best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Hannah. I again call upon Dr. Dean, who will present the President's Award of Excellence in Student Leadership.
Would Alicia Jovelanis please come forward? Alicia Jovelanis is a new graduate in computer science, a Wilson Leadership Scholar, and a Forbes 30 Under 30 Scholar. She was a community advisor in Brandon Hall, a McMaster Engineering Red Suit, co-president of the McMaster Computer Science Society, and a founding member of the Software Engineering Academic Committee. However, her signature accomplishments on campus and off have occurred at the intersection of computing and social change. Alicia has been a mentor and guest speaker for the Girls Who Code Summer Immersion Program at Intuit in California, a volunteer lead instructor and developer for Software Tool for Change, and a guest speaker and mentor for Filipinas in computing. She founded Women in Computing at McMaster and launched the Project Retech initiative to distribute refurbished computers from partner organizations to low-income households. As the founder and director of Delta Hacks, Hack for Change, Alicia created Canada's first and largest student-run hackathon with more than 2,000 participants producing more than 300 projects for social change. Alicia's accomplishments have made her an in-demand presenter who has delivered the powerhouses of the industry keynote and speeches at the Grace Hopper celebration in Houston, the Google Women Engineers Summit in Silicon Valley, and Univation, a national forum co-hosted by Universities Canada and the Rideau Hall Foundation in Ottawa. Congratulations, Alicia. Very well done. Well, you ever deserve that. There you go. Oh, we'll take a photo of us here.
Congratulations, Alicia. I now call upon Dean Puri, who will present the Ontario Professional Engineers Foundation for Education Medal.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to present the Ontario Professional Engineers Foundation for Education Gold Medal, which is awarded for outstanding achievements in a program in engineering. I am pleased to announce that the winner is Mikhail
Congratulations, Mikhail. May I now call upon Vanessa Raponi, a graduate from the Bachelor of Engineering and Management class of 2018 and a representative of the McMaster Alumni Association. Vanessa will now deliver the Alumni Association address.
Good afternoon, Chancellor Labarge, President Dean, award winners, honorees, faculty, fellow alumni, guests, and to the members of McMaster Class of 2019, I speak directly to you. Throughout your undergraduate career, your brains were as packed as your schedules, your hearts as full as your course loads, and your ambitions as limitless as the options surrounding you. Now, you must take the best parts of what you've learned and who you've become and bring it all with you into your new chapter. Crossing this stage marks one of the most significant changes of your life. This is a time where everything and everyone around you is changing. You're moving from your career as a student to a career as a professional, or instead pursuing further education, ambitious people. Or maybe you're following a path that's more freeform, some mix of entrepreneurship, travel, and mom, I'll figure it out as I go along. The conversations you're having as gatherings have shifted from red suit, bus, and academic drama to navigating federal politics, taxes, and mortgages. You're thrilled that your angel of a best friend has gotten engaged to an amazing guy, and you physically couldn't be happier for them. The graduation transition comes with a lot of new and unexplored territory. What won't change is your experience earning your degree that will always be part of you. You will always be part of this community. The connections you've made and the entire McMaster Engineering Network will always be waiting for you wherever you need it. The Alumni Association will help ensure you always have an opportunity to stay in the loop. You can read about your alma mater in MAC, a special magazine for alumni, or check out the monthly e-newsletter, Maroon Mail. There's an alumni website where you can read blog posts, learn from the career newsletter, insights, and join the MAC alumni communities on all social media platforms. But beyond the FYIs about what's happening in the Marauder community, you are also now a member of MAC 10, a program specially geared to the needs of graduates within the first 10 years after graduation. Whether you are looking for assistance in getting your first job, or as you navigate steps further in your career, the Alumni Association has a number of resources, events, and programs to help, as well as a designated alumni career counselor. These resources are available for you to take advantage of whenever you need support along your journey. When adulting gets intimidating, the association can connect you with deals on home and auto insurance or health and dental coverage plans. And if you keep your address updated, you'll receive invitations and notices about events taking place near where you live. But with online networking events, mentoring, and webinars, you can rest assured that you can always make a MAC connection from the comfort of your own home. If I was a connection that you made on one of these various platforms, I would give you the following advice. Embrace change, because it is the only reliable constant. Life is going to be a never-ending whirlwind of new challenges that you've never faced before. And the most important skill you can have is tackling hardship head-on and getting yourself safely out the other side. Be authentic, think outside of the box, help others get to where you are, and keep your ethics and morals as engineers and computer scientists and as a person at the core of your actions. If you take away one thing from this alumni address, let it be that while the community you created here at MAC may no longer be around you every day, you will never truly lose each other. No matter the distance or the time difference, you will always have shared this special chapter, and you will forevermore be alumni together. Members of the class of 2019, congratulations on your convocation, and welcome to the McMaster Alumni Association. Thank you. And while today is, of course, all about you, the graduates, I have one more message to deliver. On behalf of the McMaster Alumni Association, Dr. Dean and Dr. Labarge, we offer our most sincere support and engagement and your appreciation for your leadership of the university. And thank you for engaging with our alumni. We're honored for your work. Thank you.
Thank you, Vanessa. I now invite Dr. Dean back to the podium to deliver his President's address.
Madam Chancellor, Dr. Strickland, distinguished colleagues, graduates, friends and family. Like many of the rituals by which we order our lives, convocation is a combination of the private and the public. Today, we are celebrating your individual achievements, graduates, as well as our collective renewal through those achievements and through the futures that you will all go on to build. Convocation is also a form of therapy in that it is intended to give acknowledgement, focus, and expression to our awareness of change, of the life transitions which all of you are experiencing right now, and also of the broader shifts in our society and culture which implicate us all. One phase of life is ending for you and another is beginning, perhaps still within McMaster if you're planning further study, or, as is likely the case for most of you, beyond the university. Now, while I said convocation helps to give focus to our awareness of change, that is not to say that it necessarily simplifies moments like this. After all, while the end of one phase can be a relief, it can also occasion a sense of loss or even grief. And while we may approach the beginning of the next phase with excitement, that will also likely come with an admixture of nervousness and perhaps even fear. The combination of emotions on a day like this will be different for all of us. Now, I'm an English professor going through changes of my own, as you have heard. Many of you know I leave McMaster University at the end of this convocation season. So, in light of that, perhaps you will indulge me in a brief poetic moment. I want to read you some lines from a poem by T.S. Eliot called Little Gidding. It is the last of his 4 quartets, and it was published during the Second World War in September 1942. It is a riff, although Eliot would never have called it that, on a saying which Mary Queen of Scots had embroidered on her vestments, her royal vestments, while imprisoned in England prior to execution. And this is what she embroidered. En ma fin gît mon commencement. In my end is my beginning. Nearly 400 years later, also in London, England, and with the massive destruction of successive German bombing raids all around him, T.S. Eliot amplified Queen Mary's motto in this way. What we call the beginning is often the end, and to make an end is to make a beginning. The end is where we start from. These, I think, are helpful words on an occasion like this. While it is tempting at times to mourn, at times of change like this, to mourn the loss of something past or coming to an end, it is important to keep your focus on the future, however unknown or unknowable that may be. For Mary, Queen of Scots, imprisoned and under threat of certain execution, the future was imagined as a Christian afterlife. For T.S. Eliot, thinking about Nicholas Ferrar's 17th century religious community at Little Gidding in the context of wartime Britain, it was that, and more, a social and cultural resurgence animated by belief and unified by transcendent values. To make an end is to make a beginning. That is our theme for today, and we should all embrace it, however differently we see ourselves starting out, and however contrasting are our hopes and ambitions for the future. Acceptance of change, along with the constant process of renewal that it implies, is fundamental to success, whether for individuals like you and me, or for institutions like McMaster, in which we have jointly found a place these last several years. Change drives us forward to challenge ourselves and to scale even greater heights. Now, it's not as if we have much choice in the matter. The Greek philosopher Heraclitus is reputed to have observed that change is the only constant in life. But we do have a choice about how we respond to that change, whether we will treat ends as beginnings or merely as ends. And no less a thinker than Confucius has pointed out the link between the capacity to accept change and the capacity for personal growth. He is reputed to have said that they must often change who would be constant in happiness or wisdom. That last point is an important one for all of us as a university family. Despite the fact that universities have been around for over 900 years and are seen as one of the most stable human institutions in the West, they have not been immune to change. Indeed, all the teaching, learning, research, and discovery that happens in a place like McMaster is premised on the restless pursuit of truth. To be successful, the university must always be changing, developing, and creating new beginnings of one kind or another. In the 9 years I've been at McMaster, I've been witness to constant and far-reaching change. The most obvious example has been alterations to the physical fabric of the place, the demolition of Wentworth House and the construction of L.R. Wilson Hall, the expansion of studio art and engineering experiential education facilities, groundbreaking for the Peter George Center for Living and Learning, the opening of the David Braley Health Sciences Center downtown, and construction of the outdoor Indigenous Meeting Circle, to name only a few. Mention of the Gerald Hatch Center points to a major shift in pedagogy that has occurred during the last decade, moving the emphasis towards experiential, technology-enabled, self-directed, and community-engaged ways of learning. And the university has transitioned overall into a more vital engagement with its local and global communities in recognition of our mission to advance human and societal health and well-being. And so substantive has been that shift that our university was recently ranked second in the world by Times Higher Education in London for our contribution to the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations. That is something indeed to be proud of. Now, listing off these changes gives me pause to reflect on the speed with which time passes. I wonder whether you feel as I do, as if it was only yesterday that you arrived at McMaster. But think about this. What we're celebrating today is, for most of you, the successful completion of a project to which you have devoted approximately 20% of your lives so far. The 9 years I have spent here account for the same percentage of my adult life. It has been time very well spent, I hope you will agree. But it has been spent nevertheless. And the task today is to ponder the time ahead of you and to consider the thoughtful and, I hope, joyful ways in which you might use it, making use, I hope, of all the skills and experience you've worked so hard to acquire during your time at McMaster. It is interesting that we talk about our relation to time using the same language that we use for commerce. We spend time. Sometimes we talk about investing time, and sometimes that investment pays off. There is a witty rejoinder to this in one of the very first self-help guides ever written. It's a book called How to Live on 24 Hours a Day. It was written by the English author Arnold Bennett in 1910. And like all such books, it includes a wide variety of advice for how to live well. In the book, Bennett notes that time is indeed a commodity, but it is a commodity of a very special sort. The supply of time, he says, is truly a daily miracle. You wake up in the morning, and lo, your purse is magically filled with 24 hours of the unmanufactured tissue of the universe of your life. It cannot be stolen, and no one receives either more or less than the 24 hours you receive. Somewhat cryptically, perhaps the best thing about time, he notes, is that you don't have access to time credit. He says you cannot draw on the future, so it is impossible to get into debt. You can only waste the passing moment. You cannot waste tomorrow. It is kept for you. Tomorrow is kept for you. And my hope is that you can all make a success of tomorrow and of the new beginning and the new life that you're about to embark on. While this ceremony represents an ending for you and also for me, as you heard, it is also an ending for our esteemed Chancellor, Dr. Suzanne Labarge. Dr. Labarge has served McMaster with great distinction for the last 6 years as our 18th Chancellor and has presided at all of our convocation ceremonies during that time, as well as acting as our most prominent university volunteer. Today is the last ceremony over which Chancellor Labarge will preside, and I didn't want to end without recognizing her service and extending our thanks for all she's done once more. So there are many of us saying goodbye. Valediction is always difficult, but as Winnie the Pooh is believed by some to have said, how lucky we are to be leaving something that makes the goodbye hard. My very best wishes to you all.
Congratulations to the class of 2019. As one of the 220,000 other alumni, I really can't wait to see where you end up. And I have great hopes for you all. As President Dean said, this is my last convocation, it is his. And I'm just delighted to know this is probably the only one of the convocations people will remember. And the only reason is it has nothing to do with me. You probably didn't know who I was before the convocation started, and you will forget very quickly after you leave. We hope that you might remember some of the things that were said, but what you will remember is you had the great fortune to cross the stage and greet a Nobel Prize laureate who is a fellow alumna. I also want to say I envy you today. I will be very blunt, I don't want to start over again. But when I look at the opportunities that you're going out to face, or the challenges you face and the opportunities that exist, the opportunities weren't there when I graduated. But we're giving you so many more tools to meet these new challenges and to take advantage of the opportunities. I have to use myself as an example. When I graduated and went to business school, we used a slide rule. The only person who could afford a calculator was Nat Rothschild. When Dr. Strickland graduated, I got my first computer. It was an Apple IIe 64K. All right? And I keep thinking of the number of discoveries that had been done with people who had that and even less than that. And I think, wow, this group can do miracles in the future. And so I just think it's so exciting, and I'm so pleased to have been able to participate in all of this. But one point I want to pick up on what Dr. Strickland said as well, was she talked about luck. And what is important is how you use your luck. And obviously all of us are lucky, or we wouldn't be here and be graduates of McMaster. But how you use your luck is really the point, as she made, of going beyond your zone of comfort. But it is that that opens up a different world to you. And so, as I wish you best wishes going forward, I also wish you best of luck. Now, since it's also President Dean's last convocation and last time at McMaster, I really want to thank him on behalf of the university and particularly, it is particularly appropriate that it be at convocation, because so much of President Dean's focus has been on the student experience, to create an environment where you can learn and live comfortably. And it is evidenced in the ranking that he talked about during his speech. So on behalf of all of you and the rest of the university, I would wish you to join me in thanking him. And now I get to do the announcements. A reception will be held for graduates and their guests at the Art Gallery of Hamilton in the Joey and Toby Tannenbaum Pavilion and Zurcher Sculpture Garden immediately following the ceremony. I would ask that you please remain standing at your seats until the academic procession and the graduates have left the hall. Finally, please join now in the singing of our national anthem. After the singing of the anthem, this convocation stands adjourned.